You guys seen Grayson Waller? You got that Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit.
Fuck you, PrizePicks! Fuck you, PrizePicks!
But I'm had enough.
Fuck you, PrizePicks! All again, man, I hate to know. Fuck you, PrizePicks! My whole clique about to fuck you up. Fuck you, PrizePicks! Population, we are not the same. Fuck you, PrizePicks! Again, to win and take everything. Logging in, make my picks, I'm about to get this spread. It makes me harder than Candace Parker giving me head. Rage said if I don't win, then I'ma come pick you up. Carpooling to the bridge, if we a fam, then we all jump. Let the underhope, she rolls her knees or ends up dead. Whatever it takes, I'm trying to make this money with my friends. WNBA season so much free you won't believe. Join in Discord, you can pay a top support and more. At least I'm kidding, we really winning the ghost of the industry. Johnny and Clyde, they don't want the smoke, we taking all their money. Ain't no selling now. Population, we are not the same, we do this every day now. Everybody say, fuck you, PrizePicks. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Fuck you, PrizePicks.
But I'm had enough.
Fuck you, PrizePicks. You can keep your rotten taco. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Bob and Johnny, that's tomato. Fuck you, PrizePicks. And if you really wanna win, fuck you, PrizePicks. Come and rock with population.
Fuck you, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
And here we go.
Welcome to the BALKIng Dead. As we got 2 days left, are you not entertained? At the end of the day, I just keep doing what I do, guys. But like we say always, we're 0-0 today. It really don't matter what we did yesterday. But, 4-0 is kind of nice, though, ain't it? This show is sponsored by W. It's a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by going to W.com, you will get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Pub Sports, that is. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash that like button. Make sure you do have them notification bells on. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe as well. As well, guys, as I will read off the best bets at the end of the show, make sure you please hashtag We Be Pubbin in it so I know which comments to scroll through, which comments not to. If you have any questions on any other pitchers, same thing. Please hashtag We Be Pubbin. That way I know what to scroll through. It's Thursdays. It's our last Thursday. And we're going to start with it as a classic. It was the first hitting prop ever on Pub Sports Radio, guys. And it was so hot, they made us change the music intro for it because WWE had a fucking problem. And I'm talking Jack of the Day with Connor Mack.
Well, see you later.
Remember when we had the freaking Big Show saying it? I think he said it once or twice before Big Show did the record.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, I'm a little out of whack here. I shot you. I was in the back. Sorry, I was just at the camera.
I'm gonna need you to shoot on your own and freestyle.
Okay.
I'll chip in afterwards. My Wi-Fi literally turned on 10 minutes before this show. I thought I was gonna have to.
Okay.
My phone,
I was wondering. I was in the back. I was like, let me in.
I thought I was gonna have to go off my phone. I have no controls. Big Show was in the Cappers.
Okay.
So he was
beautiful. I didn't know. Hey. I know nothing. I show up.
He votes. He gets his votes.
I vote. Yeah, I always vote.
I couldn't vote because my internet was down. I was pissed. I was freaking out. But yeah, let's talk some hitting.
Let's get to it. Let's get to a tough day here. I think it's always a little bit tricky. Who's going to be in the lineup? So that's always a battle, especially the time of the day we do the show with who's going to be in. But I have to go back to one game, and that's Cubs Braves. It's just, again, more runs. We got a little, Hap got it done a little. Bellinger still had a couple hits, and he got that sac fly. I thought Bellinger was going to knock him in there, in the 10th. I'd go right back to him, and I am with Bellinger. His home runs plus 475. His RBI is a little low, plus 125, but I go right back to him. But I'm going to hit the Braves on the other side as well. I want the guy with the best numbers, and I think the Braves finally sit a couple. I mean, everything's locked up, Sharpie. Now home field, 102 wins. But I'm going to go to a guy who has success off Stroman. I mean, I don't know how long we're going to see him, but I like the matchup. I'm on Rosario. I'm on his home run, plus 650, and I took his RBI at plus 190. He's 3 for 9 off him with a couple home runs. It's just a good matchup that I'm going to take on the Braves side. Yep.
RBI was what?
190.
Yeah, I don't think that's one guy they would sit. You know, that's probably
No,
one guy
I
they're
think
just
he's
gonna
in.
play no matter what, bro. You know, Rosario ain't Acuna. He's not fucking Olsen. He's not these guys that, you know, they're probably gonna give Acuna the last 3 innings off, I would say, in games because he's the type who will run into a fucking wall when you don't need him to.
Yeah.
You know, where Olsen's the first baseman, you know, he ain't getting hurt. You know, like you could predict which guys are you need to keep these guys safe. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely like him because I think he's in.
Did you cut out? Can you hear me? Hear
Yes,
me?
sir. I can hear you now.
Perfect. Okay. Let's hear a little Dodgers, Rockies. There's not a lot of good, good numbers here. If you're looking at Dodgers, obviously in Colorado with Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Muncy, they're all really low. Even Martinez. I'm going to hit David Peralta. I'm going a little off the wall here with both these guys today. I don't want chalk, Sharpie. I want a little bit of juice here. David Peralta, he's 5 for 7 flexing. Flexen's just gotten hit. He's going to get hit here again. I also think James Outman, he's been hot lately. Look at him as well. Good matchup that would look to Flexen. I don't think he has any numbers. But Peralta finally, yesterday had a couple doubles again. He was, slumping a tad bit. But back-to-back games with RBIs. His RBIs plus 140. I'll take it. I think he's going to hit 5th or 6th today for the Dodgers. And his home runs plus 550. I'm on it.
That's crazy, bro. Flexen is a soft tosser. You do not want to be a soft tosser versus these Dodgers, bro. Oh, God. No. I didn't even see who was pitching for them, but I'm going to go have to look at something to back or Dodgers team total or something. But, yeah, this is not what you want to be, Flexen. Is flexing your muscles versus this team. You want 97, not 90. No. So, yeah, anything else?
I got one more. Okay. I got one more here for you. I haven't bet this yet. I just was waiting. The lineups are out. His numbers are too good. Obviously, Mountcastle versus the lefty, Chris Sale. He's just coming back, though. I'm going to stay off, but I'm going to bet Austin Hayes in some way. His home run's 8-1. This wind is kind of in, but I don't think it's that wild here, Sharpie. There's a lot of wind blowing in these games, but this one's like, 7 to 8 miles an hour. Austin Hayes, he's 6 for 18 with 3 homers off Sale. He just owns him. He's hitting leadoff. Put a little on his home run in this game. And you can look to the RBI, runs, all that good shit. But look to Austin Hayes. I'll definitely be on the home run. I'm going to get on something else in this one.
Yeah, now that the lineups came out, I was actually waiting for that. But that was one thing that my thing was being a douchebag with. And I think it's everybody that they projected. Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I have it written down because I was looking to back me some Sale today, strikeouts wise.
Yeah, good game. Dean Kramer and him. So a couple Red Sox have good numbers off him. Devers, Verdugo in the 4-hole today too. So look to those guys.
Yeah, bro. Hopefully they haven't jacked these up. So I'm gonna have to check out the line right now because I'm getting in on me some Christopher Allen Sale day today.
Get it.
But I figure it. No, they all have great numbers off of him, but strikeouts don't correlate.
Exactly.
Fucking getting hit, and God forbid if he doesn't get hit, he has 9. So that's always the plus.
And if he does get hit,
always the plus part. If he plus it, we have chances of getting 6, but then the chances are slim to none. But we will talk about that when the time comes. If you're just tuning in, guys, for the recap of Jack of the Day with Connor Mack, he is on Cody Bellinger, the Cubs, at plus 475 for a home run. Got to get them where you fit in. Cubs need to win. Cubs are fucking let's go. And, he's going to head on over to the other dugout and take is it Ahmad Rosario on that team? Or no, Ahmad's on our team. Huh? Eddie. Yeah, Eddie Rosario on plus 650 for his home run and also touches RBI at plus 190. Then we're going to head back to the Dodgers. I know Bellinger was a Dodger, but no, we're going to a old Arizona Diamondback, now Dodger, David Peralta, with his RBI at plus 140 and his home run at plus 550. Definitely love the RBI. The RBI's in the sweet spot. And with those numbers, write that down, Sharpie. Go play the RBI of Peralta. All right. I'm sorry, being a jackass, but I write shit down so I don't forget. And then he's going to take Austin Hayes, guys, plus 800, 8-1 too good value on a guy who's got 3 bombs and 18 at bats. So get in where you fit in. Austin Hayes of the Baltimore Orioles, 8-1 to close out the day. Appreciate you, C-Mac, as always. Let them know what you got going on, where they can find you.
Just check me out here. Everything on Pub Sports Radio that we do. I will try to jump on later tonight. We have NFL football. Lions Packers should be good. Big show. You got to be pumped for this, right? Your Lions going to go in there and win? What's going on?
We're going to fucking smoke them, bro.
I know. That's exactly what I wanted to fucking hear. But that's it. Connor Mack will be on this Saturday doing a college show with Kat. I think we're going to do the SC game. Even though I kind of want to do
What do you think of the game tonight? What's your lean on the game tonight?
I don't have anything on the side total. I will have a couple props. I've already been looking.
Oh. Okay.
Sam Laporta over 4.5 plus 130.
I like
bro, no. Tell him why, Big Show. You've been on the Laporta train. No, don't just tell him. You've got stats in your head. You've got
best rookie tight end in the league right now, leading all tight ends right now in receiving yards. Take his 4.5 catches. He's had 5 in every game. He had 8 in the last game for 80 yards and a touchdown. They're looking for him, and Packers. This is why we got him. We got him to beat the division. I
love it.
That dude on this team.
I love it. I've already seen wow, he's gone to him early and often this year. You know, a little bit more than I thought. Goff,
he's got 3 drops
for real.
Well, he's got 3, passes that were targets that didn't become completion. So he's getting good passes too. So he's getting enough separation.
I love the play
where he can make his own damage.
Yeah, I love it. This is big too. Lions go in there though, they go into Green Bay and can win, especially maybe not every year, but consistently. That's big for them. So I'm rooting for you, Show, for sure.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers' last pass was still to a Lion.
Yeah, it is. I know.
So let's keep that mojo going.
Let's get it. Let's cash. I'll see you later tonight, Shark. Appreciate it, my guy. As always. Shout out to the chat.
Well, see you later.
Yeah, now it's time to get into some money, guys. As we know, we've been hot, and we just got a little bit of lineups out, and I like putting in bets. Well, talking football. We'll talk a little football at the end if you want. And let's talk Corbin Burns versus the Cardinals, number 14 in Black Book, striking people out at a 25.5% clip while walking people 8.5% of the time. Morning line was 6.5 plus 111 on Caesars, where the best line available is 6.5 now at plus 115 on Caesars. PrizePicks has him not available for his K prop. Projected lineup is 6 righties, 3 lefties. First guy on our board today, guys, and bear with me, my internet was down all day until 10 minutes before the show. So I did a lot of freaking old school capping on a phone. I look at 10 different sites. I write a lot down. So it was fucking annoying, but I did the freaking parts that needed to be done. So let's talk Corbin Burns versus the Cardinals for the second time this year. Where back in May, Burns just went 6 innings with 7 strikeouts. And we get a 6.5 at plus money, guys. And that's where it should be if we just take in how the Cardinals have been not striking out over the last 15 days with Burns' win percentage to the over. As well, guys, if we do look at the lineup, we get 4 guys in this lineup who has only seen him, with Goldschmidt, Kinser, and Edman all striking out at a 33% clip, where Nootbaar doesn't strike out to him, but sure as fuck doesn't hit him at all either. Now, the problem is there's red flags, and we talked about this yesterday, and it came up again with Sonny Gray today in the morning games. These guys that don't have outs props, they books either think they can get pulled early or they know they can get pulled early. And this is where we get into they think. This is where I think, or else it would be a 5.5 like the next guy where they're going to talk about, where that tells me the books know. We get an original number. This is a 6.5 if Corbin Burns is supposed to go 100 pitches. Now, do they let Corbin Burns go 100 pitches today? They could if he's cruising, or they could have a set limit, dead red flag on hey, you're going 5 innings or you're going 6 innings, 90 pitches today, whatever comes first. That can be there right now. They're not playing for nothing. They're locked into their spot. and this is just a spot to get in, get some reps, and not get hurt. Now, the problem is, guys, is they don't have no outs for him. They're giving us a 6.5, and they don't know. What I'm saying is they don't know is because last year, different situation for the Brewers, but Corbin Burns, last game of the year, and I write notes on everything in my books, guys, on pitchers, on what happens that day, why, what goes on. He pitched 3 innings of no hit, no walk, perfect baseball with 5 strikeouts on 40 pitches and was pulled. They had a set limit for him that day. Granted, it's a different situation. So the fact is that he's a 6.5 at plus money is telling me the books don't know. But the fuck thing is, guys, is you just got to be safe rather than sorry and not bet these guys right now. This is a number as if he was pitching on a regular day, not on a leash, guys. He's got to be on a leash today. This game means fucking nothing. So if you want Corbin Burns, you need to project those 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. If you get anything more than 5 innings, sweet, awesome. But that's the way you got to attack it. And I'm not going to put myself behind the 8 ball and bet a guy at a normal K prop when I think he can be on a leash. So be safe, guys. Got to be safe these days, guys. I got burnt last year in certain times. So I'm just telling you this, and it's now coming up. It came up with Pablo Lopez got hit, but he probably wasn't going that long anyways. But Sonny Gray, they had a straight leash with him today. He was cruising 4 innings. I sit the fuck down. It's going to happen. Don't let it happen on our dollars. Let's talk Zach Wheeler versus the Pirates. Striking people out at a 27% clip, while walking people 5% of the time. Morning line was 5.5 at minus 134. On FanDuel, where the best line available is minus 135 on Caesars. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6, where the projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. This is a super small write-up, guys. This is just a spot I wanted to talk to you about and warn you. You may obviously already see a 5.5 and be like, what the fuck is going on? This is what I was talking about, where the books know a guy is on a pitch count. Why else would his outs not be there? Why would he be dropped to a 5.5? Am I saying this is the titty capper play of the day? No, I'm not. Can this guy get 6 strikeouts in 4 innings, 5 innings? Yes, he can. Am I willing to bet a guy that's on a leash? No, the fuck I'm not. So obviously the books know he's on a limit. There's no outs, and his strikeout props are dropped down. You've got to project these in 4 to 6 innings, and you don't know when the fuck he's coming out. And you may end up with a broken TV. Be careful betting these guys. They're not giving you the other props on right now. They're for a fucking reason. And these books aren't stupid. We can't play these games with them, guys. So be careful betting Wheeler today. There's no way am I looking. I couldn't go under on Wheeler at all. I get it. If he does go 5 innings, he should have 6 strikeouts. Now, Burns, the only way I could look is under. Like, that's his normal number. He's got to go 100 pitches to hit that. So, I mean, if I was to bet Burns, it would be under. If I was to bet fucking Wheeler, it would be over. But it seems like they know he's on a super, super short leash. But if they would have gave us a 6.5, his original number, then what, guys? Everybody would have went under because they know what's going on with these guys. They're not going the full limits right now that don't have to. So once again, guys, be careful betting Wheeler's over. Is it a trap? No, it's just the guy's on a fucking limit. Can the guy hit the overs on limits? Yes. I don't like to bet an over on I refuse to bet an over if a guy's on a pitching limit, unless it's like a 4.5, because, if it's a bigger number, now you need everything to go right. And what happens if one thing goes wrong? You get fucking cucked McGucked is what happens. So shout out to the 75 lives. Shout out to the 50 likes. Appreciate you all tuning in 2 days prior to the ending of season 2, Balking Dead, guys. It's been a fucking long one. It's been a good one. I had my first losing month in 2 seasons this year. You guys fucking made me helped me get through it. No bullshit, because I wanted to fucking hang myself. I bet everything that I say I'm on, or I tell you guys what I'm staying off, or the reasons why. And yeah, July was brutal. Thank God June was like September, where we were in the 30, 40 unit range. So people were like, bro, you won me so much. Don't sweat it. You're all right, you know? And then I got a message from one guy. He's like, hey, bro, you're the fucking GOAT. Don't forget it. And he's like, even the 73 win Warrior team lost a couple games. And I was like, all right, bro, you're right. Okay. I guess you can have a bad month. I'm not used to having it. We're having a monster month. And let's talk about one of our bets today. And that's Christopher Allen's sale day, guys, versus the Orioles. Number 64 in the black book, striking people out at a 30% clip while walking people 7% of the time. Morning line was 5.5 minus 145 on MGM, and the best line available is minus 147 on Caesars or minus 145 on Bovada if you go all the way down and not just look in the prop builder where I did. Now, guys, we have the last sale day of the year, and it's versus these Baltimore Orioles, who's actually seen him 3 times this year and have pounded his ass cheeks. 7, 6, and 5 earned runs depending on the game, with 6, 5, and 0 strikeouts in those games. And Sharpie, we're going to bet him? Yeah. Hear me out. When we look at the Orioles numbers versus lefties over the last month, guys, they're top 3 in the league at not striking out. Yet they're not hitting the ball either. And the fact that Sale has been blasted makes me want to back him. This guy carries a chip on his shoulder, and the O's K percentage over the last month versus lefties is not good. I mean, it's great. Top of the leagues type shit. And the fact that he hasn't had more than 6 in a game in 3 games versus them is the reason we get a juiced out 5.5. Thank you. But, guys, we have 8 guys in this lineup with a career strikeout percentage of 29%. 29% in a total of 145 at-bats. That's a lot of fucking at-bats, guys. Let me talk to you. That's 1 in every 3 batters with an Orioles team who's not hitting right now. They have gotten to him 3 times. If they don't get to him today, this fucker has a 9-piece through 6. So at the end of the day, Chris Sale over 5.5 for a full unit, minus 145 is my bet in this game. We talk about it all the time. Strikeouts do not correlate with sides and totals and who's going to win. But the fact that the books have his earned runs at a 1.5, yes, juice to the over. But the fact that he's given up 7, 6, and 5. They're begging you to parlay that shit and this and that. And you know what, bro? Chris Sale, you can give up 2 runs. Chris Sale, you can give up 3 runs. Chris Sale, you can give up 4 runs. Runs do not correlate with strikeouts. I'll tell you that all the fucking time. Now, if he has a great game and gives up 1, 2 runs, goes 6 innings, we cash our 6 strikeouts quite easily versus a team that doesn't strike out to lefties. As we say on this show, hold my motherfucking beer then. Yeah. I love when we get a low number and I know the reason why. And then I fuck them square right in the eye hole. And that's what we're going to do there. Then we're going to head on into Jesus Luzardo at the Mets. Number 20 in the black book is striking people out at a 27.5% clip while walking people 7.5% of the time. Morning line was 6.5 plus 124 on FanDuel, where the best line is available. Still on FanDuel to that 6.5, but at plus 110. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6, where the projected lineup is 6 righties, 3 lefties. Now we get Black Jesus at the Mets, a.k.a. Jesus Luzardo, and he's my boy. He's your boy. We've made a lot of money off this man this year. And the Marlins need to win this, guys, as they do have a 1.5 game lead on the Reds with 4 games to go. And this will be the second time this year that Luzardo gets to see these Mets. The very first game of the year, and now he gets to see them on the last game of the year. Well, we know the Mets weren't the putrid-ass Mets, and the Mets were a no-fly zone last year and at least the first half of the season versus lefties. And Luzardo went out there and put his freaking schlong on their forehead. He went 5.2 innings of no-run ball with 5 strikeouts versus a Mets team that just didn't strike out to lefties back then. And when we look, guys, how the books made the line, it seems like the books are favoring the Mets, or at least factoring it in, guys, as if he does get hit, he can get yanked, as it's a playoff-type baseball for the Marlins. And the Mets have been league average at striking out. They're not walking, and they are hitting the ball with a nice team isolated power of a $190. So when I go through the projected lineup to see who's seen Luzardo, we have 6 guys who've seen him with a combined 24% K percentage. Yet it's just a wee bit skewed, guys, as Nimmo, McNeil, and LeCastro have just struck out 3 of their 25 at-bats, where Lindor has struck out at a 25% clip and Alonso a 33% clip. So we can't count on 3 guys who haven't seen this man, which is good for Luzardo. But we've also got to take in that 24% strikeout career percentage versus these 6 guys who have seen him in the projected lineup is a tad bit fraudulent. So I got to wait for the lineups to come out. I will tweet out my action on him, as I will be looking at his outs before his strikeouts, unless the lineup tells me otherwise, as I do like to lock in and think which bet will hit first. Am I always right? No. Am I right more often than not? Yes. And I used to bet, I'll bet the strikeouts and the outs. And then you know what? I was going 1-1. I don't bet to go 1-1 and lose some juice. So I had to have a serious talk with myself. And you got to buckle in. You either got to take the outs or the strikeouts. You can't be doing both unless you're doing like a parlay like my boy Billy does when they correlate together. I get it. When a guy needs to go 6 to hit 7 and you slap them both up for a parlay, I get that. I do. But that's not this type of situation. I'm going to be looking for the lineups. And with this fraudulent K percentage, if this is what we get, I will look towards his outs before his strikeouts. But if I get a bunch of guys who's hitting in this lineup, as their overall numbers do say, but I've also known by going through lineups one by one that 2 or 3 guys can carry a whole team. So I'll go through the lineup one by one. If I get a team that's not hitting, I will look to attack the outs. If they are hitting, it's just as simple. I'll just leave Luzardo alone, as this is a spot. If he gets hit, he's probably getting yanked early, as this is a must-win situation. As it's not straight, we have to win and die yet, like it's like with the Mariners, as it is with Miami, as they do have a 1.5 game lead, but they don't have no room to fuck around and find out, as they do want to make the playoffs. The next 2 guys up on the board happen to be in the same game. And it's like the Astros-Mariners game, where I was in those games every day, guys. And I like to be involved in games where the chips are on the line. You get to bank on coaches. I know what coaches to bet on. I know what coaches not to bet on. You know what's going to happen. Did I think I was going to lose Bryce Miller yesterday? You fucking right. 2 innings in, 3 strikeouts. I thought it was fucking dead. But then when I got through that lineup the second time and they hit him and they ended with freaking 4 strikeouts through 4 innings, I knew he wasn't coming back out. I knew he wasn't coming back out, especially when Seattle scored a run. They actually scored 2. The fact that the game was within distance at that time, he's gotten hit at the top of the lineup already. He's not going to see him the third time. It would have been a bad managerial move. And I got lucky. I thought I was dead on Miller yesterday, but the fact is he got hit the first time by Altuve, gave up a jack to Alvarez the second time. The coach wasn't willing to risk him third time through the lineup. And that's what we've got to be worried about these times running K props, especially with Luzardo. When you got 4 guys in this lineup who don't strike out. Now, can he get the other guys? Yeah. But I don't like to bank on 5 good guys or 4 good guys and 5 bad. I like to see clear-cut advantages, and then I attack it, or I just let it go. So unless I see something in that lineup, Luzardo will be let go. But I will be looking to back his outs. But there's times I do an hour worth of lineup work, and I just have to throw the shit away. And it is what it is, I don't want to press. I want to win money. Shout out to the 90 plus on a Thursday. Smash the like if you haven't, and let's talk about the game everybody wants to hear about. And that is the Texas Rangers at the Mariners. We've got Jordan Montgomery, number 45 in the black book, striking people out at a 21.5% clip while walking people just 6% on the year. Open them up 5.5 minus 145 on DraftKings, where the best line available is exactly the same and still on DraftKings. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6, where projected lineup is 8 righties and 1 lefty. Now we get a matchup where Seattle has to win at least 3 of 4 games and may need help if not win out. As the Rangers need a win, and Astros lost to just clinch the AL West, and we have a back-to-back situation for both of these pitchers. Jordan Montgomery last week versus these Mariners went 7 innings, 0 earned runs with 6 strikeouts. And we all know my 2 rules by now with back-to-backs, as he was a 5.5 last week, and once again, he should be a 5.5 this week, and that's exactly what we have. Now, it is moving to a 6.5, but that's different, guys. That's different. It's where the books open it, and they opened it last week at a 6.5. I mean, at a 5.5, and it opened at a 5.5 once again. Now, if it gets bet up, it gets bet up. The books are supposed to adjust it. Now, when they take one-way action, like the guy we talk about in the next spot, that's when we got to be careful and be worried, or at least fade it or stay away from it. And thank God I stayed away from Scooble, as once that line move jumped to a 7.5. Oh, Lord, that fucker had 7 with the rain delay. So thank you, baby Jesus. Sometimes you just got to thank the baseball gods. But at the end of the day, guys, the second rule in my book is if you have a average to below average day, we can then look to bet you over, and vice versa the otherwise. Like Barrios yesterday, he had 6 versus the Yankees on the first of the back-to-back. We bet him yesterday. He had the most he's had in a game all season. Gosman, another example, was a 7.5 versus the Yankees. We bet him over. He had 10. The next week he faced them on a back-to-back. He was a 7.5 once again, and he followed up with a 5. And that follows up into the rule so often than not. If a guy goes way over, you could only look under or let him go. And if a guy has an average day, you could then look to the over, because the beyond average day is still available and the cards haven't been played. So, do we fucking want in or not? That's the question. And the fact that this line's getting steamed up and bet to a 6.5 on a couple books tells me the recency bias of what everybody seen last night. And that was Framer Valdez, who struck out a boatload of Mariners. Framer Valdez has a decent 25% strikeout rate on the year. Okay, that's above league average. Montgomery doesn't. Montgomery has a 21.5% strikeout rate on the year. And now I know we've talked about it all year long. He's a different pitcher with these Texas Rangers and Heim. He is now 50-50 on using his breaking balls with his fastballs, when he used to be a 60-40, more like 62-38, more towards the fastball. Used to throw a lot of sinkers. Now he's 25% four seam, 25% sinker. He used to throw a boatload of changeups and not touch his curveball. Now he's 25-25, and his curveball's a legit out pitch. So I get it if you're on the over. I don't hate it. I am on a half unit play for this man's outs over 16.5 at a -130. Now, when I look at his back-to-backs over the last 2 seasons, guys, he's had 4 back-to-backs. He's never really been a strikeout guy, as before he got to Molina last year with the Cardinals and then kept going to different decent teams that we could bet on him. We refuse to bet Montgomery as a Yankee. Why? Because Aaron Boone is a cuck, and Aaron Boone will boon you more often than not. And that because I also bet on guys who strike people out. Montgomery used to use a sinker ball. A sinker ball is a ground ball pitch. I don't fucking want a guy who doesn't strike people out. No, we found our places to bet Montgomery. Montgomery has been money for us when he faces a team with a K percentage of 24% or more. And we always get a 5.5, guys. And he tends to do his job versus that then, and not that doesn't do his job otherwise. Now, the issue to me is he didn't have crazy strikeout games in those 4 back-to-backs. There was like nothing where he had 7 or 9. It was always 2, 3, followed up with 4. Now, what he did show me, guys, in 3 of those 4 games is he backed it up with a quality start. No matter what happened the first game, whether he went deep, whether he got hit, 3 out of 4 of those back-to-backs, Jordan Montgomery showed the fuck up and repeated, or at least went 6 innings. And that's why I'm on his outs, guys. I first thought 16.5 was a trap, so I went to covers. I use covers.com to go check and see what the people's last 10s were set at, to see, hey, bro, am I stepping in the fire? No. Jordan Montgomery's been a 16.5 last week versus this team, And over the last 5 weeks for his outs, he's been nothing higher than a 16.5, where he's been a 15.5 a few times, even though he's averaging 18.5 outs over his last 10 games. This is just how they line Jordan Montgomery's outs. I want to back him in a spot that even if he does get touched up a little bit, they're not going to pull him. The quick hook is not out yet. They're not in must-win mode. They're in win one game or have the Astros lose over the next 4, and they are in the playoffs. So we've got a little leash on our guy. I expect him to do what he always does, and that's show the fuck back up. And this is a playoff-type situation in a guy who was raised in the Bronx and in those types of situations plenty of times, got traded to the Cardinals to be pitching in the playoffs, and he's once again on another team. Because why? Jordan Montgomery's a fucking dog, guys, and he shows the fuck up. He's a gamer. Jordan Montgomery is a fucking gamer, and he goes to good teams who want to win. Excuse me. Now we get into our last spot of the day. Shout out to the 90 Plus Live. Smash the like if you haven't. I have a full unit bet on Chris Sale over 5.5 at -145. And I have a half unit on Jordan Montgomery's outs over 16.5 at a -130, as I need to run lineups on Luzardo to see if I want his outs or if not. Be very careful betting Wheeler and Burns today, as they seem to be on pitch counts. Especially, they seem to know Wheeler is definitely on one, as they're not offering their outs. And Wheeler shouldn't be a 5.5. That's a telltale sign that he is on a low count. Now we get into the spot that's become famous. You know, a year ago, I used to call it a trap. And some of you have DM'd me and said, you ain't Sharpie. But I said, yes, I am, because that's my last name. And they said, bro, you just called the titty capper play of the day, what you used to call the trap. And I says, you're right, bro. I've been reading this shit for a long time. Just nobody wants to talk about a mousetrap. Everybody likes to talk about some Yetis. Who don't like titties, guys? I mean, I like titties. I just don't like man titties. And that's what we got right here on Logan fucking Gilbert versus the Rangers. Striking people out this year 24.5% of the time, while walking people 5% of the time. Morning line was 6.5 plus 110 on DK, and DK still has that same exact line as the best line available. PrizePicks has him at a 6, whereas projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. Now we end the day with the other side of this pitching matchup, Logan Gilbert versus the Rangers, and he is also in a back-to-back. After last week going 5.2 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, yet only had 2 strikeouts, when his numbers was a 5.5. And now they put him at a 6.5 after getting 2 strikeouts? We know the books don't do this shit, as weird things happen when they don't put the original number of a back-to-back. And there is really nothing saying to jump him up here, guys, as the Rangers over the last 15 days are top of the league in walking, as well as isolated power, and middle of the pack in striking out. As well as we've got 8 guys that have seen Gilbert with a minimum of 6 at-bats, upwards of 26, combining in 126 at-bats versus Gilbert, with a combined strikeout percentage of just 22%. We know the books pay attention to the K percentage, and we know they pay attention to past history. Everything says under. And then I go to Twitter and type in Logan Gilbert, and I see what I talk about, and this is why I call it the titty capper play of the day, where 90% of the fucking cappers are out there saying it's free money. The write-up that I seen, and there was a few of them, and there was quite a few, as he says, he hasn't hit this over in 22 of 31 games. Is that not a fucking titty capper write-up? And then underneath it, he was like, he just had 2 strikeouts versus them last week. This team has a barrel percentage of whap, whap, whap. Shut the fuck up, you fucking rookie, bro. Don't fucking be that guy. I will fucking call you out on this show. Don't be that fucking guy. If you want to be on the titty capper play of the day, at least have some factual data to fucking back it. Don't tell me he hit 22 out of 31 games. I'll tell you, you're a fucking jackass for betting it, unless you can tell me otherwise. You got to figure it out. Why are the books offering you free money? No such fucking thing as free money. How is Gilbert getting 7 strikeouts today? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Nothing in the numbers, nothing in the lineup, nothing says Gilbert gets 7 fucking strikeouts. We've said this before. The last time we said this was with Glasnow. Does anybody remember what Glasnow? Hey, quick answer, quick question to the chat. Little who pays attention. Last time we talked about Glasnow in the same spot that Gilbert's in. How many did Glasnow have? I'm gonna let that sit out there for a little bit. And yeah, it was a whole lot, guys, and nothing in the numbers said that he was going to hit. They jacked him up. Everything said run for your fucking life. And Tyler Glasnow ended with 14 that day. All right. Now, do I have a bet on this? No. I tell you all the time, I'm not a trend better. If I can't figure it out, I just let it go. Now, do I want to go sprinkle a little 9-piece today and see if it happens? Probably, because there's something telling me this guy's going to go out there and have a day today when everything says he should not. Everything says he should not. But the fact that they jumped him up, they're begging for under money. They're getting all the under money, all that one-way traffic to a bet. Tells me that this man's going to have 7+ strikeouts today. So the only way I can look, if you were to bet Gilbert, guys, is over or just stay off, as they are begging you. And I mean begging you to bet his under. So be very careful with that. And appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Look at JP Mathis and Vadu popping in with the 14. I mean, I don't know if I want to take fucking Gilbert to 14 because Glasnow is an elite dominant strikeout pitcher. But fuck, man, what like 8, 9? Like that's what the books are telling me right here, bro. And I mean, God, I just don't know how it happened. So let's run through the chat and check out what everybody's best bet is. And I'll talk a little football, as I ain't got no bet yet, but I will be on the live NFL pub stream hosted by Mike M. Of course, the last Megalodon living Pimp Slap play of the day. We'll be hosting that tonight here on Pub Sports Radio. So make sure you tune in there, as I am the king of the halftime bets. We are 5-1 this year on our halftime bets. And God forbid, if I get in on a live prop, they tend to cash really fucking quick, bro, because I don't bet to bet. I try to capitalize when the books are fucking dumb and when you have the game script written out. So shout out to our boy Justin with the first best bet. He gonna be on Temple's team total over 26.5, and he's been hot, guys. When he loses, he comes right back with a 3 to 8 pack. So if you're tailing people, that's one guy that showed when he's hot, tail him. When he's not, fade him. Not to be a dick, Justin. I love you. You're very transparent about your action, and that's what you gotta love about a guy. When a guy gets cold, you just jump the other way, bro. You don't fucking yell at him. You just you're like, all right, bro, I'll ride your streak one way or the other. Sorry you're having a bad day. I'm gonna cap the capper and I'm gonna ride your streaks. But he ain't had many losing days in a row over the last month. So if you've been tailing him, you've been making money. So not giving you a hard time, Justin. Shouting you out there, bro. Just giving you your love. Of course, Ayo, bro. You're my guy. Akbar. Appreciate you guys all. JT, as always, you be retweeting the show out while we're live. I appreciate that. Appreciate the 100+ who tuned in today on a Thursday. I mean, when you win, they want in. There's been a solid 50 all fucking year long. You know who you are. I fucking love you. Those are the 50, 60 who's already hit the like without me having to say anything. You guys do it right when you walk in, guys. Why? Because it's fucking respectful. That's what you should do. So, yeah, we've got people talking about any more best bets. Let's talk about it. Here we go again. Looks like not many people are talking about their best bets. Got a lot of things thrown out there. Yeah, I see the lineup that you threw out for the Mets, but I've got to do a lot more. Like, if you've seen how I did Barrios, go check out my breakdown on Barrios that I did on my channel. That took me an hour. I do literally, I check boxes on boxes on boxes on boxes on boxes on boxes. And if everything clicks out, it works. So I appreciate it, but I still got to do my work. And that's not the projected lineup. So there's no, Maybe I like. We'll talk about it, bro. We'll get a little more. I will tweet out any action on Luzardo after I do my lineup work. I might just do another video since I have so much lineup work that I do. Might as well as make you pay attention to it, and hopefully you can learn something. Anybody else's best bets out there that I haven't seen, but not trying to be rude. Musgrove over 36.5 receiving yards for our boy Abel in the Thursday night football game. Musgrove, how come I feel freaking dumb? Big Show, how come I can't pin that name?
That's the titty capper play of the day for football.
Oh,
I've literally
out.
heard everybody
Pull him
talk
out.
about
Pull him out.
Musgrove. I've heard everybody talking about Musgrove. He's going to be a third wide receiver / tight end.
Okay, the titty capper play of the day. I love it, baby. It goes both ways. Just no hard feelings, my guy. No hard feelings. Ed C. Frost is on Solaire over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at -120 on DraftKings, as well as LG talking about Carlson over 5.5 at +100. Oh, Andrew Carlson,
Kicker.
Green Bay kicker. Thoughts on Aaron Jones prop starting at his receiving yards over 15.5 -110. I would take Aaron Jones receiving yards, bro. Loves a check down type guy. Aaron Jones is one of the best receiving running backs, but I don't bet guys coming off of injury. So me personally, that's my theory, my rules of betting the NFL. He's coming back from a soft tissue that can flare up on you, so it seems a little low though, bro. Like that guy used to be 27, 28 last year. You don't fuck around with Aaron Jones receiving yards. So if I was to bet it, I would take his over personally. You got any thoughts on that, Big Show?
On Aaron Jones over?
Yeah. Or the Josh or the Love rush yards. Which one?
I got burned on the Love rush yards last week, so I'll probably be off that one. They use Jones. Jones is the Achilles heel right now if you look at the roster, like if I had to look at Green Bay's roster, I'm not worried about anybody else. Even a hobbled Jones is probably the guy I'm worried about the most. Out of it used to be guys like Thielen for Minnesota and that used to kill us, but Aaron Jones has been a killer for Detroit for a minute. We need to do what we did with him to Bijan. If we can do that, I don't think Dylan's beating us. I don't think Jalen or Jordan Love's going to beat us with his arm. I think we win the game pretty easy.
Bro, I think you just said that. I don't think he's better than Bijan. Huh.
He might be better than Bijan right now. Just because he's seen NFL looks. He's seen NFL looks for so many years.
All right. Well, last best bet of the day, it looks like, is from our boy JT. He's on Middle Tennessee first half +3.5. Appreciate you guys all who tuned in today. We almost pulled 100 live. We have 65 likes. Smash that like if you haven't. Today's bets so far are Chris Sale over 5.5 -145 for a full unit, as well as I have a half unit on Jordan Montgomery's outs over 16.5 at a -140. And I will tweet out any other action at Sharpie's Bets on Twitter. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there, use that promo code PUBSports. You will get a match deposit of $100, minimum of $25 on your first deposit by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Today's special guest was Connor Mack. This show is produced by Big Show Picks and brought to you by the letters BBW. See you all tonight on the live bet stream on Pub Sports Radio, hosted by the last Megalodon living. Let's stay hot, fellas.